wonder what God was thinking when he designed Christmas? Did he consider the shepherds' mismatched outfits and how they might be too itchy with wool and all? I wonder why he did not call in for a reservation at the inn in advance. He could have sent it on parchment by a special courier. I should think that he would have thought this through just a little bit better. If I were to edit Christmas, but you, Bethlehem Ephratah, you are little to be among the clans of Judah, yet out of you shall come forth for me one who is a ruler in Israel, whose goings forth have been from old, from ancient days, eternity. If I were to edit Christmas, Joseph would get a different tunic in sage green. Mary, I believe, was way too young, and I would make her wait until she was at least 23. And as a couple, they don't get the consideration they deserve. Simply said, they are a bit outdated. Mary should have straight teeth and perhaps a nose piercing, similar to Catherine Zeta-Jones. I like her dark hair and her beautiful dark eyes. And Joseph, Joe needs to keep his beard at a 2-day growth. You know, that dusty shadow look. Like Jim Cazeville. He's got the Joseph look down pat. Chiseled jaw and rather handsome. In Bethlehem, it's much too small and insignificant. Too out of the way, and their streets have potholes. I was there recently. Israel's not all it's cracked up to be. And then there's this issue at the headline, the birth of Christ. I think it should have a Disney sound to it, like Once Upon a Magical Evening. And I'd like to add in some fairies with the angels. Just a little more sparkle. And what about those shepherds? I really like the boys from Anthem Lights. They could sing with the angels. So let me ask you tonight, is the message of peace on earth still relevant? Goodwill toward men? Is it still relevant in this day and age? I think it's a bit outdated also. Wars and violence, all the missiles flying back and forth in Gaza and Syria and in Israel. Is the proclamation peace on earth even possible? I really think Jesus' birth should change locations. A place of peace where we have none of this homeless appeal. Weary travelers looking for a place to stay. They really should have checked out the Airbnb that offers the best accommodations, perhaps somewhere in Italy, maybe with a villa, trailing ivy and a few roses, or maybe not. Cultured person, someone of culture would have sanitized that stable, and Lysol would have been used before their arrival. And really, on a dirt floor where sheep have laid, she gives birth. That ain't happening if I get to design this moment. And hey, how unsanitary, there could be lice and critters in those bales. Then there's the issue of the manger. Think of the germs in that feed trough. Which animal has been licking the edges and left their saliva? Makes me shiver just thinking of it. Wasn't he supposed to be given a hepatitis B shot upon arrival? Within the hour of his birth, to help him to prevent catching a disease, just in case he came in contact with someone with leprosy? Or one of those other people like Mary Magdalene? And then there's this concern about wrapping that newborn in swaddling clothes meant for dead people? Which mortuary did they come from? They smell like sheep. In fact, the entire stable smells like sheep. Someone better get out the aromatherapy oil diffuser. And I'd prefer lavender or lemon basil. I believe the Son of God deserves a regal entrance. No peasants involved. I can't do peasants and homeless people. We'll need twinkling lights like the Rockefeller Center on Christmas Eve and a large star on top. Oh, we got one. Sorry. I think there was one of those. But we could sell tickets, front row and center, maybe throw in a little rose petal, red carpet entrance with the Holy Family waving as they enter. But the blueprint of this moment was not ours. The Creator of the universe said, I know the day and I know the hour. He hand-selected and crafted the details, and there was no Hobby Lobby involved. In fact, it has nothing on this design. Yahweh himself was more than satisfied. Yahweh himself was more than satisfied to send Yeshua to sleepy shepherds and a quiet carpenter. I have to say that again. Yahweh himself was more than satisfied to send Yeshua to sleeping shepherds and a quiet carpenter. There were no spotlights, no fog machines, just candlelight and stars. No heavenly halos or jeweled crowns, just a thumb-sucking infant seeking nourishment. Why did the King of the universe minimize this moment? Or did he? Throwing in humanity and the simple with no grandeur, no bands, no Macy's parade, no glitz or bedazzle. Was it an error in judgment? Or really was it the message of the moment? I guess if you watch the greed and self-indulgence of Christmas this year, or any year, you recognize that the season has morphed into what it wasn't was. I said that wrong. It's morphed into something it wasn't. Our world is a mere image of Bethlehem's stable, rough and gnarly with sharp jutting edges, hard walls, and yes, we've kept walls around us, keeping out all the cooties and all the undesirables and all the imperfections. And the stench of sin, I bet if you inhale, you will find it on your clothing. The image of Bethlehem's stable is becoming muted daily by darkness. And there's nothing that resembles innocence any longer. Wide-eyed sheep and an obstinate donkey standing in the corner watching. But the moment that Mary kissed the face of God and ran her fingers through his brow, over his brow and through his curls, she whispered, Yeshua, you have come to change our world, and that was the moment. That was the defining moment when Yahweh said, I will go. Wherever they are, there is not a pit too deep that I will not reach down and pull them from. There is not an entrance too dark that I will not walk in and rescue them. I will find them on the battlefield, in a hurricane, lost in the wilderness, and running for their life. And I will redeem them. A stable's no big deal. Neither is Bourbon Street, with its brothels, a basement, or a bar. No distance is too far that he cannot find you. I will reach them in their despair, in their brokenness. There are no restraints in my love, says the Father. Bring it on. Amen. Bring on humanity with all of its hurting. Bring me the poor, the lowly, the outcast. I choose the underdog. the bullied, the abused. And yet, yes, give me the abuser. Gasping, you choke, and grimacing, you exhale. You sent Yeshua Jesus for the guilty, for the criminal, for the immoral. What were you thinking, God? Not any of them come with color-coordinated tunics. In fact, some aren't wearing much clothes at all. And you're saying, come closer to the prostitute with her booty shorts and high heels as she struts into your stable to gaze at your newborn son? Did I hear you say her pimp was welcome also? You do understand that he's a scum of the earth, don't you? And that rebellious teenager gaming in the basement? You sent him a message to come and watch the match of the century to unfold. You invited him. I can't believe you allowed that drunken Skid Row orphan to get first in line, humanity touching his innocence. I don't know, Yahweh. I wouldn't have allowed the stench, the filth, the debris to mingle with your son. But then I didn't arrange this moment, and I'm not God. And I don't have compassionate love that reaches to the ends of the world and will find you in your darkness and with a spoken word and you receiving it, wash every sin from your life. You did it. It was precisely as you planned it, not me. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. I suppose you are right to have designed it just as you did, without my help. We need Christmas more than ever this year. But not the Christmas the world has come to celebrate. We need the real. And he is the real. He's the story instead of the legend. Emmanuel, God with us this year. He traipsed across the universe and he climbed into a manger feed trough. And yep, that's the message. That's the miracle. And that's the moment that heaven touched earth and Christmas was born.